They begin the drive with Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. Finding space at the 40. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. There's Wilson to throw. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, a confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched him on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Complete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. If they failed on that 3rd down play, that brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points because they kind of got away with one. Maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Channing Tindall in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this lose.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20, 10, 5. And that's a touchdown. But hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party. Throwing now is Mahomes. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Room here to run. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Now he'll throw deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring
on what we've seen so far. I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And going deep for Hill. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Got his man, it's Dulcich. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run with Mostert off the option. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They go play fake. Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. A nightmare of the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now it's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On 1st down, Mahomes finding room at midfield. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. He is going to find Hill here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Mahomes firing complete, and they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
All right, help me out here a little bit. it, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's got to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Now, this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Hey, 43, 15.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30, 10. again. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Mahomes now on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And the tight end goes in motion left. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Mahomes now to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter action in Denver. Mahomes going to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Mahomes to throw once more. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And now here is another interception. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
They give it to Williams, running right. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Blankenship's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. On play action, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Mahomes throwing on fourth. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The slot man in motion right. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Dosich. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. He's got a man complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 26. Here's Williams to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Wilson. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but The self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
15.
Mahomes will try again on second down. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play. But he could not pull it in. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. In motion, Hill. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Yellow. Hey, 15. Hey, 57 color.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Williams throwing to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the made field goal, here's Blankenship again. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game.
any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high